Welcome to Paid Traffic Funnel. And I've put in brackets 7-figure asset. So in this module, I'm not just going to share with you a 7-figure funnel, one that I've used over the past couple of years. I'm also going to really educate you and school you on how to use this funnel and then how to also incorporate it into our ignition system, which is basically driving organic traffic then to it, right? We've re-engineered how this funnel works to drive organic traffic through to it to get the same end result. So what I'm trying to say here, or what the point is that you're not going to be paying thousands and thousands of dollars every month, right? $4,000 or $5,000 a month, which a lot of businesses are, to get the same result. We've re-engineered the ignition system so that you are getting the same end result as people that are spending $4,000 or $5,000 a month with Facebook, Google, or YouTube, and you're going to get that same result for free, right? Just by driving that traffic, re-engineering that traffic, or the ignition system to drive that traffic to your paid traffic funnel. So it's really a funnel. It's a 7-figure asset. We're not paying for traffic here. Now, there's a lot to cover in here in this module, so it's not the one for driving or listening to while you're in the car or doing it on the fly. Full attention, be at a desk, pen and paper out, and really take some notes, because this is going to be probably one of your best assets that you put into your business, right? This is going to work for you like a workhorse for years to come, and we're going to have many different ways of utilizing it. And if you ever want to move up into paid traffic, it's going to be very seamless for you as well, because we're going to use this same foundation, right? The same base is what we drive paid traffic to, and this funnel that I'm giving you converts extremely well. So we're going to have a look at the metrics and how that all works, give you an understanding before we dive in then to the setup. And the setup, we're not doing it in this particular module. There's a cheat sheet in the resources section, and it's got a separate tutorial there on that, on how to set up the back end. There's a lot of API setup and whatnot, so it also needs a lot of attention. But again, once that's done and set up, that's done. It's a new asset built into your business that's going to produce for you. So after we've set it all up, and an idea might be to set it up first and then jump back to this training, then we're going to look at each component. So firstly, your landing page, and we're going to look at how to optimize that. So landing page is basically the top of the funnel, where the traffic hits first, and all those people up there you can see at the top of the funnel, we send them to your landing page. Now after years of doing this, I know a lot of tips and tricks on how to optimize that, and I'm going to share that with you here. I've seen huge benefits to some of my private clients, and I've seen huge benefits in my own business as well by using these optimization techniques. That has taken me a long time of studying data and figuring out to do it, and I'm going to share with you today. It works extremely well for the accounting industry. Then we're going to have a look at something called value video presentation. Now, I'm going to touch on this right now, but this is not necessary for you to get going. And it's certainly not something you should be doing until you've onboarded at least 5 clients, right? You want your first 5 businesses in your target market before you would start to put together a value video presentation, which is anywhere between 20 or 40 minutes or even more long, where you're really just talking to that market and engaging them. We don't need to do that the way we've optimized our landing page. We can bypass that for now, and we'll still get the traffic to click through onto the next stage of the funnel, which is the qualification stage. So instead of a survey, or what many people used to do or still might do, is have an assistant or an admin person to take the phone call and take certain details off of the business owner before they get through to you as like a gatekeeper. Well, here we're doing it online, and we have an online survey that we build into your funnel, and this is how we qualify the prospect. So we're going to go in and take a look at that in terms of what questions that we want to put in there. And then email automation. So I've custom made an automation sequence that works behind the scenes with your funnel, with a series of follow-ups on there too, to ultimately then provide them with a link and just loop them back in. So much business comes from following up. I hope you're getting that point at this stage. Following up, and we'll do it in a way again where we look at, it's not pushy, it's not pestering, it's not salesy, it's just a reminder, and it is a follow-up, and a lot of people need that to then loop them back into your funnel and ultimately back onto make it easy for them to get back onto your calendar. And then lastly, driving targeted traffic. It's a bit counterintuitive how we're covering this as the last point to finish off this module, but because I'm going to look at different ways that we are driving traffic. So the ignition system, we've looked at it briefly in terms of the different messaging strategies we can use and the scenic road to take people straight through to the landing page. But the later stages in this program, there's warm email, there's lead nurturing, there's personalized video. We got a lot of initiatives here, and we're going to look at then how we essentially use those marketing channels to drive more traffic back to this landing page. Okay, so we got a lot to cover here, so let's jump in. Funnel metrics. Okay, paid traffic funnel to calendar. Let's say, for example, that you are using paid advertising and you're paying for ads every single day, as you'll see from the key in the bottom right. And then what that basically is you're paying these guys, Facebook, Google, YouTube, you're paying them a lot of money to find the targeted traffic that you want to work with and engage, and basically post an advertisement and make sure it gets in front of them, and then they'll click through to it to land on your landing page. Now, we're not doing that, but I'm just showing you how these metrics work to give you a good insight here as to what this funnel is capable of, because when we dial in our conversions, it holds constant, and people use paid advertising if they really want to scale up and grow, because all you have to do is turn up the amount of dollars that you're giving over to these platforms, and when you know what you're doing there on the back end of these systems, they'll just bring in more and more of that traffic depending on how much money that you've handed over to them, and then that traffic will convert. It will always hold true on the funnel until you increase the number of clients you're onboarding each month. So there's a landing page through to value video, which, as we said, we'll touch on it here, but it's optional. What I want you to start off with is actually going from landing page straight through to qualify, and then to scheduling in your calendar, and then on to you with the consultation call, which are your sales. Now, to put metrics around this, let's take an average, for example, $100 gets you to reach 3,000 people, right? Which is fairly accurate. Depending on what's happening in the market and the climate and whatnot, and the amount of users that are using it and the time of year, if there's seasonal events, the expenditure that you have to give to these guys does vary a little bit, and you have to control it to make sure that your ROI is always in a good place and healthy. But let's just say $100 will get you a reach of 3,000 people, meaning that if you spend $200, for example, you'll get your advertisement placed in front of 6,000 people that fit your criteria, your search criteria. So a bit like with our Ignition tool, and using Sales Navigator there on LinkedIn, it's important that we use those search filters as much as possible to get what we call clean data, really good quality businesses. We don't want a muddied search criteria there where the results are showing up, no, that's not the business that I want to be in front of, because then that's like our whole funnel is not going to work on them. They're not our target, therefore our core value proposition is not their core pain point, and so it's not going to resonate well with them. Now, it's okay with our Ignition system and using this organic traffic, so that, because it's all for free, that it doesn't matter, we're not paying for, we're still going to get a lot of traffic in consistently, relentlessly, for free. We're going to be driving that traffic in. But with paid advertising, it's important that when we have our advertising dialed in, so that we make sure that it's 6,000 quality prospects, because then we'd be paying money to put our advertisement in front of the wrong people, and that wouldn't make sense. So the actual conversions through each stage of the funnel are the click-through rate from paid advertising, which you don't need to worry about right now, is 0.5 to 1%, meaning only about 1% at best that actually look at your advertisement of those 6,000 people will actually click through and land onto your landing page. CTR stands for click-through rate. From your landing page, a good converting landing page is between 15 to 20%. If your landing page is converting at that, then that's good. And then they'll click through to your value video. But in our case, we're going to start off with having them click straight through to your survey form, the way we optimize our landing page, which I'll show you. But if they're going through to the value video, which is kind of like when you become more advanced, you'll build in the value video presentation component. And then when you do that, you want about 5 to 10% of people that sit through and watch your value video. And a value video is basically your presentation, or it's a case study training that they're saying it's in their interest to watch. 5 to 10% then will be highly engaged and will click through to then want to fill out your survey form. Therefore, you're qualifying them. And then book a time. Now, there's a margin of error as well. Some people just fill out the survey form, and then 20% of them don't even bother booking a time. But that's why we have our email automation sequence in the background to pick up those people. Hey, I've noticed you've filled out an application form, but you didn't actually book a time. And just a reminder, and that's what really plugs those holes. And then lastly, it's your sales conversion rate. So I'm saying 20%. Anywhere above 20% is good, and that's what we want you to converting at, 1 in 5. You don't want to work with everybody because it's not going to be worth your time, and so it's important that we don't work with everybody because that won't make sense. Out of 10 people that you speak with, there's probably the top 2 or 3 that are good quality and will be a great client of yours. The rest may not be a fit. They may not want to pay your price. There mightn't be a likability between you both, so you're better off not working with each other. Okay, to add the financials to this with paid traffic, just to give you an insight, let's say $200 gives you 6,000 reach. There's only a 0.5 to 1% click through, so that means that only 60 people actually click through and land on your landing page. Then from there's only about 50 to 20% actually opt in or click on through to your value video of the 60, so that means only 12 people. So really you're paying about $17 there for a good lead. Okay, now in the world of paid advertising, we use what we call an opt-in between landing page and value video to capture their email. Remember, with paid advertising, we don't have their email. So Google, Facebook, YouTube, they simply just send traffic. They don't send their email address as well. And that's the beauty about our ignition system. We already have their emails from our ignition system, and we also have a lot more than just their emails. We have all of their business information, address, and we even have their phone number in some instances. So we've got a lot of advantage there. So we don't really have to worry about getting a lead. For us is there are leads anyway. We have them using our ignition system. So, but in the world of paid traffic, a lead only becomes a lead when they land on your value video, when they click through from your landing page, and then we capture their email in something called an opt-in form. So 15 to 20% of 60 people is around about, let's say, 12 people. So a lead would be costing you $17 per lead. Okay. But here, as we know, our leads are free. We have not just their email, but a lot more data. From there, 5 to 10% will then sit through the video and start to, apply, fill out your online form and book a time. And then you'll have a consultation call with them, right? So what that means is basically then an application form will cost about $200 and 80%, let's just say it holds constant, $200 or a little bit more, a little bit above $200, and then you'll have to speak with 5 of them to ultimately get your ideal client. So that means that your cost per acquisition there, if you work that out, is actually 5 times that $200. So it's $1,000. So you're paying $1,000 for a good quality client, and these are just average numbers, right? Believe me, when we go through this ignition system and we're using this organic traffic and we have everything dialed in, and you ever wanted to move up into paid advertising, your numbers are going to be a lot cheaper than that because we've got so much data, we've got so much qualified traffic already, and we'll have a system, a formula. We'll dial in your sales process as well. You'll have a lot of automation, a lot of retargeting. There's a huge momentum built and compounding effect, and compounding essentially just drives your costs down, right, and your revenue up. So what that is saying there is that your cost per acquisition on paid traffic funnel will be about $1,000 per client, right? That's what you're being charged, and that money goes straight to either Facebook, Google, or YouTube. That's how they make their money. Now, we are sending organic traffic to your landing page, meaning that there's no dollars being spent every day, as I just mentioned. I just wanted to give you an insight there as to how that works if we were sending paid traffic through to the paid traffic funnel. Instead, we are sending organic traffic for free after re-engineering our ignition system and in the later stages as well, all of the other marketing channels that we are going to have driving through to your business. We'll also be able to drive them onto your landing page also as the scenic road, so that once they land on your landing page, the conversion metrics take over themselves. Once the asset's built and everything's fully up and running, it's hands off, it's hands free. It's a hands free funnel if you want to look at it that way. It's going to be converting at 15 to 20%, 5 to 10% if you proceed to put in your value video, and 80% then there'll be a drop off there for those that actually fill out a survey form to actually book a call, and then your sales process will be at 20% once you go through use our value sheet method. So that's really That's it. That's an overview. I wanted to give you an insight into paid traffic as well. Now let's actually set it up. So setup. I want you to back-end setup. There is a cheat sheet in the, let's just jump over to it right now. And if you pull this up in the resources section, it'll say funnel setup cheat sheet. It'll look like this. And you can see there's a number of pages. There's quite a bit of setting up in the back end. So this is there's a separate tutorial there. Once you go into the download the resource, click this button here. There'll be a separate training in that. I'll talk you through everything you need to do there. And it's all of the components. It's linking up different. It's not just all one off the shelf. There's different pieces that actually have to be integrated. So it is quite technical. It'll take you a bit of time if this is all new to you. But these 2 days or this full weekend of going through all of this is well worth your time. Hopefully you're starting to grasp already just from looking at an overview as to how effective this asset is going to be for you. So once you've completed all of this, then we can jump back to the training and continue. Landing page optimization. So once you now should have your funnel all set up and be familiar with the stages, we're going to jump over into the funnel in a second and look at the landing page. But the landing page is all about keeping it simple. And we have provided you with a structure that works extremely well. It has the key information on there that people need. It's all encompassing in terms of that what we call the first fold. Everything should be seen in the first fold in terms of your core value proposition, and then we're going to show you how to add in a little short video on the landing page, which is just about 1 to 2 minutes, and provide you with an example script here too that converts very well, just to let you know the structure here as to what to do. But obviously you're going to tailor it for your market. And then when we do that 1 to 2 minute short video, we're actually going to send them straight through to your survey form to qualify them, instead of doing the value video at this stage. We're also going to show you how to add a pop-up onto the landing page to just give them that extra nudge and spur them on to click through and fill out a form. Then we're also going to show you how to add in lead magnets. This is an effective strategy to, again, just increase conversions. So the pop-up and the lead magnet, they kind of work hand in hand together. I'm going to show you how to do that there. And the lead magnet is basically like a brochure or an ebook or a top tip for the industry or an industry insight or maybe a tax-saving initiative or strategy. So there's a few things we can do there. And I'm going to show you how to do this and make it all extremely professional looking also. And then lastly, social proof. So we want to keep this page simple, but social proof does an amazing thing to the subconscious mind of your prospect that lands on there. When they see other people that are even similar to them in their industry that are talking about you, and they're talking like we're talking here, social proof is basically testimonial, what people are saying, anything that you may have on your website already. We want to just bring it across here and put it onto your landing page, because most people are lazy and they won't actually do the cross check to your website. Okay, so we want to actually bring the most important pieces for marketing and for selling from your website onto your landing page. And that is really social proof. It's got a huge influence on people. When they see that other people are saying something, it has this herd effect. And people are like, oh, well, if such and such did it, that might sway their decision to click through. So we'll show you how to add that in also. Okay, so landing page optimization. I'm going to take a quick look here, and then we're actually going to jump into the real thing and show you a few tips and tricks there. But really, all of your work in the fundamentals stage of this program and this training is now we're putting it onto a landing page. So this is why we spend so much time on our fundamentals trying to iron out our core value proposition, making several iterations on it, right? Then also coming up with some ways to differentiate yourself, right, by using the acronym. And these are all things that we can then apply to your landing page. So if you haven't done the fundamentals, this is going to be very difficult for you, and it's probably not going to be converting well. But if you have went through the fundamentals, this is very easy. Right, we can do this. We can whisk this up for you in no time. But it's about understanding what the work that you did in the fundamentals and who you're targeting, and then putting that together succinctly. That it's sort of eye-popping. We're touching on that core underlying pain point, which is your core value proposition, and we're getting that crystal clear on the landing page. We're adding some key benefits, and then we're providing a button there for them to click through and fill out a form. And then we're also adding in a video. You can put a photograph there, but that's more for if you've got an extensive value video in the next page. What I want to do with you right now is just not put in a photo here, put in a short 1 to 2 minute video of you talking about, it's basically an elaboration of your fundamentals that you know about that particular business. And we structure it in a certain way to basically tell them, look, click that green button if you knew what was good for you. So here's what we do. Look, I'll just run through each one of these. Header and company name, we're going to change that to you. Everything's going to be customized to you. For this example and the template I sent you, there's actually This is actually a real landing page that was used for a private client and converted very well, and it's for restaurant owners, as you can see. So the subheadline said, for restaurant owners not supported with the right information to manage their business, just calling out a pain point that we've seen that was reoccurring. And then your core value proposition is how I help overworked restaurant owners gain financial control and freedom by implementing this simple system. Okay, so you can see how that is structured in a way that it's a great offer by being super specific and with our target, getting their attention and calling out their pain point that they're overworked and helping them then overcome that and dangling that carrot, gaining financial control and freedom. And then by implementing this simple system, right, which is going to be proprietary, then we can break down a little bit more information here. We have a simple, we make it simple for you to be in control of your schedule, experience life-changing time savings, improve profit margins, ethically qualify for more tax deductions. Okay, so that's just an opportunity for you to add in more benefits, right? Again, as we discussed in fundamentals, accountants are not one-trick ponies. We have other services that we can do, and this is just an opportunity to put it down very neatly and clearly with a little nice, well put together tick as a bullet point to just let them know here's also what you get, right? There's more strings to our bow. And then the value video, we're going to touch on the short video here that's going to replace the value video for now. We're going to touch on a few other things. And then there's some compliance and whatnot that you need to change that we'll jump in and take a look at right now. And let's go through each one of these in order. So first one, record a short 1 to 2 minute video, and we'll also provide you with a script here so you can see how that's done. So let's jump over now to your landing page and see how we set that up. Okay, so I'm at the landing page and I'll just click in here, edit page. We'll jump in and take a closer look. And in here you can see what we just looked at there on this slide. You will obviously change this to your company name and change this to your core value proposition. And here is a sub headline, which you can also add in for your target audience as well. And here's the video. Now you want to put your name underneath here and put any initials that you have after your name, also any designation there as well, just to show the stranger, the prospect, that you're qualified in this field. You might as well throw them in. And then you want to update this down here to your website URL. Okay, just put your website URL address down there. And same with privacy policy and terms. We have in the resources section, I have provided privacy policy and terms also that you want to have on your website if you don't have them on there already. And then you just want to put the link in here. So you want to delete that out and put in your link to your privacy policy on your website or your terms on your website. You don't need this right now, right, for organic traffic. But if you ever wanted to move to paid traffic, it's important that we have these here. So right now this is non-essential, only if you want to add it in. Okay, so the video, what we're here to do. So you want to, once you've recorded the video, now we'll go back to the script in a second. You want to have this video of you in your office sitting in front of a desk, but just looking professional, standing in front of your desk, sitting in front of your desk in your office, or however you like to host your Zoom calls. You just want to have that the same way, and obviously facing the camera, good lighting, all the rest. Record the 1 to 2 minute video, and you can upload it to. So if we click over here, then you want to you can upload it to YouTube, you can upload it to Vimeo, you can upload it to Wistia, or really those three, right? And then there's also an option. When you upload it to, I know when you upload it to Wistia and when you upload it to Vimeo, they also give you some custom code. So you can click that and just paste in the code. But it's very, the easiest thing to do is probably just upload it to Wistia or Vimeo or YouTube. It's very fast. And then they'll give you a link, a URL link. So let's say Wistia, and you can see here, you just paste the link in here, right? You delete out mine and you put in the Wistia URL, and that's it. You can decide then whether to be autoplay on or off. It's right, so you can test either, whatever one wants to work best for you. And you can also have whether you want them to block the pause or not. So yes, as in they cannot block the pause, it just will play to the end, all the 1 to 2 minutes, or you can say no, allow them to stop and start it as they wish. That's up to you again, and that's something that we can use to optimize as we get going, but certainly nothing to worry about in the beginning to get moving. and the rest should all be fine. Okay, we'll take a look at the end as to optional width or height, but everything should be fine right now, and it's configured in a way that it's just all good to go for you right now. So that's pretty easy once you have it recorded. In terms of recording a 1 to 2 minute video, let's take a look at a worked example, one that converted very well, sticking on the same theme here of restaurant owners. So let's jump over to the script in the download section now, called landing page script. Now when you open this up in the download section, you should see LP video script, and it's really a page. Okay, so I'll read it through for you here. Now just bear in mind that this is based on all of some fundamental work that was done with a private client for the restaurant industry, and this converted extremely well for them. And you want to use this same structure for your own video. Okay, don't copy this word for word or do the exact same thing. You can keep the same structure, but sort of make it you as well, and obviously apply it to your target using all of our work in the fundamentals. So really, you want to be, you want to read through this a few times first and just really get it in and have it smooth, and then you want to record yourself, and you can even record yourself on your phone in a landscape way, and then you can upload that to Wistia or YouTube. So to read through this, just to give you an idea with you, here it goes. So you start off with a bit of, just a bit of enthusiasm. If you're looking to eliminate the stress, chaos, and uncertainty in your restaurant business and replace it with a proven, profitable structure that lets you grow, expand, and actually have a life, stick around. You are in the right place. Hi, my name is Naim, and I'm a restaurant expert CPA, or if you don't have a designation, don't worry about it. I help restaurant owners increase their profit margins with less stress so they can create both a business and life that they enjoy. I've worked with hundreds of restaurant owners, just like you, and have heard over and over the struggle that's endured every day running a business. In fact, before coming to me, many of my clients have been on the brink of throwing in the towel, thinking it wasn't what they thought it would be. Working incredibly long hours, through holidays, never taking vacations, stressful day-to-day operations, just maintaining the flow of customers, let alone getting caught up with the behind-the-scenes business matters. Daily reconciliations, managing staff, confusing financial and management reports. And then the surprises caused by misunderstandings related to their monthly bottom line and even taxes. It's no wonder that 80% of restaurants in the US fail to make it past their 5th birthday. As more and more restaurant owners came to me for help, I decided something had to be done and to create a system to streamline the process. The back office support system, aka the BOSS system. I've used this exact system to help burned out, broke restaurant owners grow from low 6 figures to high 6 figures and even 7 figures, all while being able to take more time off. Today, I'm offering you an opportunity to get on a call with me to discuss how BOSS could be used in your business to move you closer to your goals. The way I see it, you have 2 choices. You can continue on your current path, spending more and more time and money and energy than you actually have, and take years to figure out what I've already figured out and can help you with right now. Or 2, answer a couple of questions on a quick form and schedule a free call that I'm offering you to discuss how I can personally help you. Seems like a no-brainer to me, and at the minimum, you will leave with a newfound clarity over your business, so you've really got nothing to lose. If you're even considering it, you should take action now, since each call is personalized and I take my time with you, so there is actually a limited amount of times available. Simply click on the orange button below, answer a few questions, pick a time, and we'll be talking before you know it. Until then, have a great day. So that's really the script, and I wanted to read it there just using the way I would read it, but you're going to be in front of it. Use your hands, right? Start with a smile, end with a smile. These are just little tips that will improve engagement. People want to see that is a likable professional that I want to work with, because they can see that they have the credibility, they have the authority. They want to see that profile photo that we put on the LinkedIn page when we're optimizing that. They want to see that same person. So they want to see you turned out really professionally. Start with a smile, end with a smile, and use this structure, okay? So notice that we're starting off talking about their pain points, and we're basically dangling a carrot then to help them say, do you want to overcome that? Like a big, bold promise. And then an intro about yourself, and then some credibility. So you're going to say that you've worked with many. Now, if you haven't worked with hundreds, don't say you've worked with hundreds, but just say that you've worked with many businesses in this field. And then you figured out a system, right? You're like, you started to realize after working with so many, hey, you know what? There's a lot of reoccurring patterns and trends here, which there are. So you can just start to elaborate a little bit more about why you put together your proprietary system. So whatever you're using it there, this is an opportunity to dangle that differentiator again, right? So we've done some good work. If you want that extra step and put in your USP using an acronym, it's time to talk about it and say, hey, my prime system or my launch system or whatever it is, depending on the industry that you're targeting. And this is all just raising curiosity, okay? And then further down, the structure is just more about you've created the system, and then this is what the system can do for them. So really here, what you're talking about is if you've got a number of clients under your belt, then you want to talk about the key highlights that the improvements that have been made over the duration. So there's, nobody's financials remain the same over the course of 12 months. Talk about if there's an increase in revenue, increase in margins and whatnot, and tie that back to your system, saying the system can help you do that and get there. And then you really want to give them a bit of an ultimatum. Okay, so you want to give them two choices: keep doing what you're doing, right? We've called out their pain points. Keep enduring that pain, or get in touch and we can help you solve it. Right? So these are the two options. So keep doing what you're doing and just sit in that pain, which nobody wants. Everybody wants to get rid of their pain and eliminate that, as we know, or get in touch and figure out how we can not only remove that pain but also move you forward. Right? Take you to that point B where we always want to. Everybody wants to get to what the goal, the objective, and then just you're putting in a bit of a plug at the end. It seems like a no-brainer to me. It is a bit, this is kind of articulated well, and you want to just end with simply clicking the button. It's seamless, it's easy, it's free. They should be looking at you, liking you right now. You are engaging them because you've called them out, you've grabbed their attention. We're motivating them to get in touch, and we're making it dead easy for them to do it. Until then, have a great day. So let's just jump back to the landing page. When we have recorded that and we have it sitting in here, that's going to work for us all year round, right? So think of how efficient that is. When we get this dialed in and we get this done properly, this is going to work for us all year round, right? Like, I can't express that enough. It is a workhorse. It is a machine that's just going to produce for you time after time after time after time. We're sending traffic to it. It's worth putting in a bit of work. It's only one page. It's just recording a video on one page, okay? We're not asking you to go the full. This is why I don't want to overwhelm you with a value video right now. That's more when we get into the swing of things, and then you want to really add in more. But this will convert just with this 1 minute video, and we can condense it down. This is the importance of doing a good job with the fundamentals, and this is what we can also help you with by supporting you with on Q&A calls too. Okay, so that's really all there. Now let's just jump back to the agenda and see where we're at. Next, adding a pop-up. Okay, so back to the landing page. And a pop-up is basically something that if I'm to exit the page, or when I click the button, that the pop-up will just pop down. So it's really, the only reason we want to use a pop-up here is to, if I'm exiting the page, it'll give us an extra nudge to be like, no, don't exit the page. You want to click this button and book in for a call. Using paid traffic, people use a pop-up to capture their email. But we don't need to capture their email because we already have their email plus a lot more data from the Ignition system. So let's just exit out of here and go back into the actual edit section. Okay, so at the top, we can see pop-up. And we'll click show pop-up. And this is basically the pop-up, right? So as I mentioned, it's just an extra nudge. All we want to use this for really here is just an extra nudge. If we're exiting the page, that this will just jump down and it'll encourage the prospect then to book a time. All we want to do here is that. Right? We don't actually need to capture their email because we already have it using organic traffic. Capturing their email is if you want to use a lead magnet, or if you're driving paid traffic, paid dollars from Google, Facebook, or YouTube, as we discussed. We're not paying all that money and then not actually receiving when they opt in. We have to get their email. You're paying that money essentially to get their emails, but we're getting all their emails plus a lot of other data for free using the Ignition system. So we don't need their email here. So we don't want to add in unnecessary friction. So we would remove that. However, we would keep the email here if we do want to add in a lead magnet. We do need it for a lead magnet. Now in the setup sheet, I show you how to set that up. with and show you how to what a lead magnet is basically your ebook, right? Your top 10 tips, your industry insights, maybe a tax strategy, maybe a glimpse behind the curtain. Here's a tool that we're using. A look at a snazzy dashboard that you use, something, right, to just grab their attention. And you have to have the email in place here, and we have to have a form behind the scenes. The scenes then that email, when they enter it here, goes through to that form, and then once that form gets an email, it's triggered to send them an email with your lead magnet, which is your ebook. So you would say enter your email here to get access, instant access to whatever your lead magnet is. In the cheat sheet, I show you how to set up the lead magnet. We also show you how to create the lead magnet in a matter of minutes using an awesome tool called Canva. So don't stress, oh, I don't have a lead magnet. You can do up a lead magnet inside 10 minutes, and we'll show you how to do that. And then it just sits on here, and you will then have the button. So the button here, the action here will be submit order, submit form. So that basically means that it's sending it through to the order form, and then from there it knows to send you through to the next stage. Once you click submit, it'll know to send you through to the filling out the form, the next stage of our funnel. Okay, so in the setup, I'll go through it all in detail in there, but let's just say for this example here that we are just using a pop-up as if you're exiting the page, right? So if we go to edit settings, we can see that there's a trigger on exit. So typically it's always don't show an exit. We always want to have this switched on. Show when user tries to exit, okay? And then we also want to then have the button as not going to order form, but just going to the, go to the next step in the funnel, okay? So now this button is going to do the exact same as this button. This button here, if we're using the pop-up to grab their email, this button here, set action, would be open the pop-up. And that's trying to get their email. But we don't need their email, right? Unless only if we're using a lead magnet, we'll change this button to open the pop-up, and then we'll grab the pop-up. The pop-up will come down, and we will then we'll want them to enter in their email. It'll go through to the form that we've linked through to the back end. Set the action here. It'll go through to the form in the back end, and then that'll be triggered to actually send them your lead magnet. You won't have lead magnet here, by the way, in case anybody would be thinking that. You'd have your ebook, get instant access to your top 10 tips, to get instant access to like this specific niche tax strategy. So hopefully that's making sense and not too confusing for you. We're not using the lead magnet here, so we don't need to collect their email. We would have it already. Okay. If we're using paid advertising and paid traffic, we'll always want to capture their email, because otherwise it would just be throwing money away. But everything's for free here, so we've just basically got there's no pressure on us or nothing. This is what's amazing about it. It's just gonna always get the traffic in, and we just want it converting as well. But we're not going to lose dollars by not capturing their email. We have it already. So we can even delete this one out as well. And all we really want to do is this is just a nudge, right? And I don't like book a time. Let's say book a call. All right. And the action here is not to the form. It's to go to the next step in the funnel, which is our survey form. And that's it. And then we want to just make sure that our settings are set to show when trigger tries to exit. Okay, cool. And then instead of sending to the pop-up here, we want also to go to the next step in the funnel, okay? We don't need them to go to the pop-up to send them through to the next stage in the funnel. Hopefully this works, but the only reason I'm putting that in there, I'll press save, as you will see, and we'll do a bit of a preview here. I like to always save and preview what I'm up to make sure things are working. But essentially, they'll land on the landing page. Your video will hear whether you have it auto playing or not. It'll start playing, and then we want them to obviously click this button and go through to the next stage of the funnel. But what I just did there is, and so when they click this button, we'll change that to book a call as well. They'll go through to the survey form. But if they don't, what the pop-up trigger on exit, what it means is I'm going to try and exit this page right now, and the pop-up should appear. Okay. So that's what we did there, and that will improve your conversions immensely. They're going to leave, and then it's book a free call. And another thing we could do is, what we could do to make things even better is basically put this on the pop-up as well. Okay, so how we would do that is we would go up here, going back to bullet list here. Okay, so I've got quite a few options in here, and I want to just toy around with some things just to really add emphasis. I like this better. So then here you can add in what we had here, right? So your benefits that are listed there, you can add them in there as well, and maybe you can we add in a little sub headline here, and we can just say, find out how we can help you with, right? And maybe just change the color on this, text color red. Cool. And bold. All right, you'll change this to marry up what I've said there. And keep this congruency is key with all of this as well. There we go. And then I'm going to go to exit, and that just a bit more information, right? Find out how we can help you with, and you just want to reiterate to them, look, here's what you're getting. So those key benefits are key. And book a free call. And then if I click this, we should go through to the next page. So I'll click there. And then we are through to step 1 of 2. Please complete this quick survey to get your free consultation call. Cool. So now let's go back. And we'll exit out of this as well. So we'll see each stages from high level. So that's now qualify survey is the second stage. Let's go back to the agenda and see where we are at. Okay, back at the agenda, landing page optimization. We have looked at recording a short 1 to 2 minute video and went through an example script there for you to tweak to your own. We looked at adding a pop-up, and we looked at lead magnets and brochures, ebooks, top tips in the forms of magazines and whatnot. In the setup sheet, we're actually going to show you how to do that, but here we just discussed why you would do it and the effectiveness of it if you want to just really try and drive more traffic and you have something of value that you think that your audience would appreciate. So in the setup, we show you how to set that up, and that will also look at some creative ways to create a lead magnet for yourself, which you will always have anyway, and we use a super effective method using Canva. So lastly, now we want to look at social proof, and what are we talking about here? So let's just jump back to our landing page, which is here, and I will go to landing page and edit page to drill down into it. Social proof is basically putting more, so testimonials, right? Anything that is social proof, social evidence that you are working with this industry, if you have it. If you don't, and you're just trying to get your first clients in this industry, then don't worry about this, right? Because you don't have any evidence to put down there. But if you work with a number of companies, or even one company, or have any testimonials, I see a lot of people put them on their website. Well, it's going to be more effective for you here, because here's where we're driving traffic to. And as we know that not everybody, in fact, a very small portion will actually do their homework and click over to your website to check out what more they can see there. They will do when they start to be engaged and they want to learn more about you, and before they work together, they'll look at your website. But in terms of conversions on this funnel, it helps if we add in, so we would add in the testimonials here. So all we would do is just add a new element, and we could go with 1 column or 2 columns. I think 3 might be a bit much and 4 might be a bit much. So basically what this means is, do you want to put 2 testimonials side by side each other on the same row, or do you want just one? So one would look like this, right? It will fill the width, and you add in a new element, and you would probably just add in image, right? Or you could even put in paragraph and put in inverted brackets like what they said, their actual testimonial, and their name and their company name after it. So just like you have on your website, just to try and make it professional. Or you could just take a screenshot if you have it designed nicely, and you literally just grab the screen grab from your website and then save that to your desktop, and then upload it here as an image, and you want to put it in there. And then when you upload an image, you can put borders around it and do all sorts of stuff over in the options section. So that's what you want to do there. As I mentioned, you can just do one and have like a couple of them down here, and then maybe also put in a headline on it, and we could put that above there and just say what people are check out what others say, something like that, right? Or even just like testimonials, check out what others say, or success stories, right? Just something like that, where it's going to be, so social evidence and social proof is very powerful, right? Not to get into the psychology of it too much, but it has a huge influence on how people make decisions, because they look at other people, and when people are uncertain, they look for what others are doing. It's a frightening thing, actually, and particularly when they don't know the other people, they actually make their decisions off of people they don't know who might be similar to them. So if they're uncertain, so that is quite frightening. But that's why social proof and social evidence is so powerful, because when they look at other people and they see that they have achieved results and they're happy with your service, then that is enough for them to make their decision. What's more is that when they look at people that are similar to them, that sways their decision even further. So this is another reason why to stick to the one industry. And so if you're not getting at that by this stage, then I don't know how we can help you. But when say, for example, you're in a particular field or an industry, and let's call it engineering, and engineers are on your landing page, and they see comments from other engineers that you've delivered an excellent service, their decision is pretty much already made, because they're looking at other engineers that are not just other businesses similar to theirs, and the good results and the good words they're saying about your service, they have such high certainty then. And so it's important to put that here, and this will help the click through in terms of number of calls going through to your calendar. Okay, that's really it on social proof. Now let's jump back to the agenda. All right, so that's how you optimize your landing page, and I hope that makes sense for everybody. And you might want to go over this a couple of times just to really make sure that your landing page is optimized as much as possible. Next, value video presentations. So I don't want to be confusing you in any way, right, with this module on your 7-figure asset, your funnel, but we are actually not including this value video presentation in the first instance, because I have worked with these funnels for so much now that I know it converts without this. Meaning that if we go back up here and look at the blueprint, right, we're taking out this value video essentially, because I know when we optimize the landing page the way I've just showed you, we can send the traffic straight through to a survey form to book a call for you to do your sales process. The value video is certainly something we can add in, but it just takes longer, right? This is definitely the longest part to add in to the funnel. So that's why I don't want you to get bogged down on it right now. I want you to get the traffic flowing and get on the calls and start onboarding clients, which I know you can even without the value video. You may have to do a little bit more work over here. The value video is essentially doing more heavy lifting so that you have to do less on the sales consultation. Right, and it engages. Obviously, it also then increases the quality of calls that will come through. The stronger your value video is, but you don't want to. It's quite often that you really do need to know quite a bit about your target market to have the value video worthwhile. But when you put it together, it is highly effective, and the whole point of it is that you should be doing less heavy lifting on the sales call, because you've already said a lot of it on the value video. Now, this is a 30 plus minute presentation where you're recording and you're talking very strategically to this market about giving them a big promise, calling out their pain points, and then paving the path for them and dangling your service and what you have to offer. So there's a lot of things at play here to keep them engaged to watch it all, right? Because if someone's going to watch 30 or 40 minutes, it has to be of high quality, and then they will book through, right? We want to not include this for now, and just get you moving, right? Get this funnel set up, and with taking this out of here, it's very easy to set up the rest of the funnel, right? I know this might be all new to you, and it might take a couple of watches of this particular module to get it set up, but believe me, it's pretty easy to set up once you go through this module a couple of times. I think we've covered all bases. And then the value video is something that I would like to come back to in later stages of your development and of this program. So we would then, in later stages, we look at live webinars and how to set that up. And a live webinar is actually very similar to your value video presentation, right? And I show you in great detail in later stages of this program when we get to the live webinar stage as to how to structure your live webinar. And we have a couple of worked examples in there too. And that we can kind of like massage that back into your value video. And that's going to be a workhorse for you as well. But let's not do that until we have traffic already flowing through here and we are onboarding clients. And then we want to up the ante. Let's add in a value video, and then we would add in a value video if we're trying to drive more traffic then, because we really want to start scaling up. Okay, hope that makes sense. And in terms of what the value video looks like, it is, again, it's a new step in the funnel. So we would add a step in to the funnel. I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then we change out the details, header with company name, instructions. There's a one column. We add in a one column this time. And we have so the video will take up the full width of the column, and we do same process, Wistia, YouTube, or Vimeo, and then some further instructions and an opt-in button at the bottom then for them to click through to the survey form. Now let's jump back to the funnel, and I'll show you how we would add in that step. I will leave that there, and I'll just actually leave that so that it doesn't save what I just added in terms of social proof. But if we were to add in a step, you simply go down here, you add new step, okay? Or you can duplicate or clone this funnel step, okay? Clone funnel step, and then when you clone that step, it should appear here that, okay, there's a new page, and it'll be sitting in here, right? As like a holding department before then we decide where do we want to actually add it in. So then we would click wherever we wanted to add it into, and I think this button here then turns to add to funnel. Okay, so we have to clone first, then figure out where we want to put it. So we want to put it in between landing page and qualify survey, and then we would click this button here, which then should say add to funnel, and that's it. So then we would actually go in here and modify this, right? Modify this around so that it actually looks like this as well, and then that's it. And later stages will actually provide you with a template as well, but that's how we add in the value video presentation. Okay, let's keep moving. Next, qualify your prospect. Okay, so same again, let's just have a quick look. This is what this looks like. Qualify your prospect. Now this is where we have clicked through from our landing page, right? And we've added in the pop-up to give that extra nudge as well if they're trying to exit the page without having clicked through. But when they click either button, the first button on the landing page, or the exit button, or the button that pops up when they go to exit, when they click that button, they'll land through to here. And again, header with your company information up there, or just the name, some instructions, step 1 of 2, please complete this quick survey to reserve your free strategy session. And then an image of you, which always helps because it gives them we're just trying to like inch up that trust and rapport so that they know who you are, right? And then the form, which we show you how to set up using the cheat sheet, but we just paste the code in, and that's all we have to do here. So if we jump back to our funnel and we go to qualify survey and we jump in here, edit page. This is the one that I'm going to send to you. So please complete this quick survey to get your free consultation. I've edited the words slightly. You put your edit name in there. Please fill out the form below so we can prepare for your consultation. Add your image in there. Just click on it, image, upload it there. Okay. Then you want to change out this information down here to your website information. Okay. And Policy and terms, that'll be available for download as well, as I showed you before. You don't have to have that if we're not using paid traffic. And it's always nice to update the date as well, or the year, sorry. And then here, so behind the scenes, in the cheat sheet for the setup behind the scenes, we will set all of this up, the form, and then we will open code editor like that, and we will just paste the code in, and that's it. Okay, and then we will take a preview of this, and this is what the page will actually look like to the prospect. And I want to just run quickly through the form with you, and not actually the setup, which is in the cheat sheet, but the form itself and the questions that you might want to think about. These are questions that you want to ask your prospect, or you would have your gatekeeper ask about a business owner before they get to you. So keeping in line with the example here that I'm showing you in terms of the restaurant business, so we just ask first name, last name, email address, call preference, give them an option there, right? Because we don't want to, the more options we give people, the more they can actually, the more people will apply, right? If someone's like, no, I only do video Zoom calls, I don't do phone calls. Well, then we want to give them that option. Then put in the actual Zoom ID or the phone number. Do you currently own a business, right? Simple qualification question. If the answer is no, it's probably unlikely that you want to take that call. Ask them for some details, their website, their LinkedIn URL, so you can check them out, right? The better a sales call or a consultation call goes, a lot better the more information you have on that person, and the more you're able to check them out before the call. How many years have you been in business? I mean, you can find that out with LinkedIn, but it's sometimes nice just to have them confirm it as well. What type of restaurant do you own? So now we're getting specific to our qualified prospect. How many locations does your restaurant have? This is a term that they use in the restaurant trade. They call each one of their businesses a location. What type of legal entity, right, do you have? So you can, I've just added this in, but you come up with your own questions. In the setup, we show you how to actually set all this up, how to put in a drop-down box and whatnot. How many employees do you currently have, including contractors? More key information to give you a feel for the business, the prospect. Your current monthly revenue. So again, what I'm doing here is kind of like inching down with these questions. We're not getting too pervasive or anything like that. It's kind of, we haven't started off with what's your revenue, right? We've kind of like filling the form. We're asking for details, personal, then we're asking for published information that they may have available. Then we're asking them a bit about the background, what type of restaurant they have, what size is it, what legal entity structure do they have set up. As professional accountants, we need to know that. Many employees to have, and then what's their monthly revenue? This is obviously a question that you'll need to know. I've also put in what's your point of sale system, because that is quite key in the restaurant trade. And you should be, if you're working with the restaurant businesses, you should start to familiarize yourself with their software as well, and how you incorporate that into your own software. And then ask them, what do you feel is your biggest obstacle right now? This is a great question, because essentially it helps us, before the call starts, to understand where they're struggling and ultimately to find their pain point, because we need them to tell us like what's going on. We've made some good assumptions with our fundamentals work, but this is then them prioritizing what is the biggest blocker right now. Where are they struggling the most? And that is based on what their objective is, what their personal objective is, what their management style is over their business, and how things are going. So this will be different for everybody, but it's great information. It's a key question. We have to put the asterisks on there so that they fill this out in particular. And we want all of these questions filled out before they can actually click the submit button to book a time. Then ask them how motivated they are to grow their business. This is just gaining commitment, right? You want to heighten that commitment as well, because at the end of the day, you don't want a tire kicker or somebody that's just wasting your time. So by asking this question, it's very good, and it helps actually them moving forward, because the higher the number they put on here, the more they want to back that up and stay consistent with what they've said and actually grow their business, so long as the sales process goes well and they have assurance that you're the person to help them. Finally, if you're accepted, what makes you different from other applications and why should we choose to work with you? You can take this out or add it in. It's one that it is powerful, because it's showing them that, look, you're a growing business, you've got a great system, you know what you're doing, you help the businesses just like them, and they should appreciate your time. So it does some things on a subconscious level. Now, these are the questions that I've just put in as an example, and I wanted to just walk you through them. When you're setting up your own using the cheat sheet, you can, obviously there'll be unique questions depending on your industry too, which is great, right? If you're working on a particular industry, drop in the lingo in there too, right? For restaurants, POS, locations, many locations do you have? These are all, you could even just say, do you know your margin? Like, get specific. If you know we're sending a certain type of traffic to this page on the survey form, we also want another way. It's another way to demonstrate to them that, hey, look, I know your business model very well. I know your industry very well. I work with many of your businesses. And so these questions in here should be very familiar to that business owner, and they'll enjoy it. They'll like it when it's familiar. It makes them more engaged and more warmed up by the time you actually hit the phone with them for your consultation call. When all is complete, then they'll just simply click the submit and book a time, so long as they've filled out all of these questions. And then this, as you'll see in the cheat sheet, the way we've set up the CRM behind the scenes, this will automatically take them through to your book a call stage of the funnel. So we'll quickly take a look at that. If we jump out of this and go back to our overview of the funnel, the schedule page. Now there's not much going on this page at all other than them booking a call. So in the cheat sheet, we show you how to connect up your calendar to the scheduling tool, and then the scheduling tool, again, we just add in the code there once we set it up. So we're using schedule once. You can use Calendly as well. So yeah, we'll show you how to do that in the cheat sheet. It's very easy. Make sure you pop your first name in there and edit all the rest on this page too. And then that is it. We'll exit there. We can leave that. And then lastly, once they book a time and whatnot, the scheduling tool behind the scenes will automatically redirect them to a success page. So let's have a quick look at that. And you want to go in here and obviously edit your details up here. Congrats, booking confirmed. I have sent you the confirmation of your call time and date via email. Please make sure that you put this in your calendar right now. Just reminding them, put this in your calendar to help the show operate. Our team will call you via Zoom or phone. You can just put in I will call you if you like, depending on which option you've selected. Please make sure you are ready when we call. Please make sure that you are in a quiet room and do not take the call from your car, airport, or other noisy place. If you take the call in a noisy location, we will cancel the call with you. I think I'm just repeating ourselves there. Okay, I look forward to finding out more about how we can help. Chat soon, and then put your name down there. Right, so you can add in whatever your style, right? Make it your style and how you meet and greet people. Don't have to just copy me exactly and put your picture in there as well. I'm just pointing out obvious things I know, but some people have actually used the funnel before with my picture on it, and you wouldn't believe it. Here's another opportunity as well that you can add in more social proof if you choose to, right? Or as you start to grow and develop and get an expert with your funnel, you can add in maybe a video here as well, right? Something, depending on what you've got going on with your marketing or on your own website, if you have videos here and there about here's how I work, here's what we do, and you've went to the bother of getting that already created, it might be nice just to add in the video here. So you would add it in here, and you would not add in a new section, but we'll add in a new row, and we would put a column here. This one might be the headline. So you would add in the headline and say, check out how our system works, or if you've developed something, right, you want to show it off, check out how this works. This is just heightening their engagement. Or make sure to watch this couple of minute video to learn how we operate here and some of the things we do, something like that. Then you would add in another element, right? That would be your headline. You'd add in another one here, and then this would be your actual video, right? So let's say it's a video that you had created already, and you would add it in there, and then it's another way of engaging, right? Increasing engagement, increasing buyer readiness, all of that before the actual call, because and less heavy lifting for you, because they're kind of like already, this is great, this is perfect, this looks really like what I need, and then by the time you get on the call, it's an easier time for you. It's a more enjoyable process for both parties, because they know that I'm in the right place, I'm qualified, you have a service packaged for me specifically, let's roll. Like, what's the next steps? How do we do this? Now, if we jump back to the overview of the funnel and then actually back to the agenda, let's see what we have next. Okay, so here we've just covered qualify your prospect, and now I want to move on to email automation. So First of all, email automation is really, you've got a funnel, okay, but we have some holes in it. Where, in particular, this 80%. So remember, we're driving free traffic to our landing page. We're not really picking up an email from them because we already have it, unless we want to use an email magnet, or sorry, a lead magnet, where we capture their email if we feel it's going to drive further traffic. But first of all, we probably don't need that, and we can just use our opt-in button that triggers when they're going to leave the page and send them straight through to fill out the survey form and get a conversion off of that, okay? With our 1 to 2 minute video, that's going to be enough. If it's targeted traffic and we're hitting on their core value proposition and we're outlining a few other benefits that they'll receive from working with you, that's enough to get conversions and to get application forms sent through to your email. But there is a drop off, what we find then, between those that actually fill out the form and book a call. So some of them just don't. Like, right, people are less, they need to be herded and shown the way. Some people just fall off, and so we want to plug that hole there and not have survey forms without somebody booking a time. Rather than manually reaching out to them, we can automate this process. In addition, once they have then completed a time or booked a time in your calendar when you're free, that also suits them, we should send them another email as well, just to confirm with them that all has been successful, you're ready for the call, and just a few other nice words there to prep them for the call, right? So a bit like the success page, there's a bit of narrative on there, and we can add some more things on there, as we said, as we grow. But the email then is just another way to let them know that, look, this call's happening, so that your show up rate, you want that good and high as well. The show up rate is always typically about 80%, meaning that even when someone has filled out here, there's still about 20% that may not even show up for the call, right? That's just expected, but our email automation will help counter that. So let's have a look. Okay, back here. So this email, now in the cheat sheet, we show you how to set all this up, right? So we actually show you over here how to create this automation. Don't need to worry about any of that right now. I've designed everything for you, and I have it all working seamlessly. You're literally clicking a link and putting this into your funnel. So things couldn't be easier. Now, but the only thing you have to look at is the actual email, right? The copy. Now, this one here is dead simple. This is where when people have filled out the survey form, but they didn't click through to the second part, which is to book a time in your calendar. So we simply say, hey, first name, real quick, you filled out a quick survey for our call, but you didn't schedule a time, ? In case you forgot, here's the link to schedule a time, and this is where you then want to loop them back around into your calendar. If you don't book a call, I will not be speaking with you. Please make sure you book a time right now by clicking this link here. You can add the link twice if you like. I look forward to speaking with you, Anthony, or your name. This is effective, and this then plugs that gap to not have you manually reaching out. And believe me, it's the more traffic you're sending here, the more this is going to become really important to you, because we don't want to be doing admin stuff, right? Next, confirm email to increase show up rates. This is after the prospect has booked the time in your calendar. Then we want to send them a nice confirmation email. Hi, first name. Confirming we have successfully received your application along with a reserved time in our calendar. Okay, that's just confirmation. We're ready to go. All is reserved, and you're in. Essentially, now you're in for your consultation call. A separate email has been sent to you with the exact time and date for our call. Please add this to your calendar. So we want to make sure that they have it in their own calendar as well, and they actually accept that time, so that then they get the reminders before they call as well, and they don't forget. Myself or one of my senior partners will call you via Zoom, phone or Zoom per your selection at the exact time that you selected. You can take out one of my senior partners depending on the size of your firm. In the meantime, all you need to do to prepare for our call is try to decipher between minor irritations and true challenges in your business that you're facing that we can help with. I just wanted to add that line in there to really help them try and get into the correct mindset here, right? Look, as you'll start learning when we go through our sales process stage, a lot of it is to do with they're going to go on a rant. They're going to start talking to you with all sorts about their current situation. But we want to hone in on that particular priority challenge, right? What is the big block there in their business that we feel that we're equipped to help them solve? Because when we touch on what's the highest priority and it's the most urgent and it's the most meaningful to them, that's how you do a deal, right? That's how you, and if you're equipped with a skill set to say, and I can help with that, then you're in business, right? Because that's what they want solved. Something that's not priority, it's not urgent, and it's not that meaningful to them, it's just a minor irritation or a complaint. and you're saying, "Oh, I can help you with that," they're not going to work. They're not going to move forward with you because their response is going to be, "Well, that can wait. That's 2 or 3 months down the line. It's not really necessary right now." So by adding that line in there, we're subconsciously getting them to think about, "Hey, what's going on right now?" Because I don't want you to waste my time, and I don't want to waste your time either. I want to help you tackle priority, urgent, and meaningful challenges today. Now, and then we'll say, on the call, we will look at your current situation, your business model, and how efficient your operations are in the current climate. Another nice line there, just to let them know, look, here's what to expect, and let them know it's going to be really worth their while, again, to increase conversion. And you're kind of like pre-setting the agenda here as well, which is what you want to do. On the call, we want to set a collaborative agenda, but by framing it nicely here with this email, it really makes things easier for your intro and to kick off the call itself. This is designed for you to gain value and clarity on getting to point B, right? So really, it's kind of like we're not getting salesy, but we're laying the land here to say, look, here's what to expect and here's how we roll. And then we look forward to chatting. Soon. Cheers, or Anthony. Or if you don't say cheers, whatever your culture might be, just say chat soon, right? And that's it. Next, driving targeted traffic. So this is the top of the funnel where we want to actually send the traffic through to your nicely new shiny funnel now. And how do we do that? So we have to provide a landing page link. And where we get that from is back into your funnel here. If we click over into your funnel here and we go up to landing page, make sure we send them to landing page. We're not sending them directly to any of these other ones. So we grab landing page. In the cheat sheet, we will have showed you how to connect up your domain, okay, to here. So you will find this link here, and this is where you want to check it. Now in the cheat sheet, we show you how to set this up and connect your domain, but then also test through each step and make sure each link is working and make sure each link moves on to the next stage of the funnel. I mean, a total catastrophe would be if you don't have things set up and when someone's clicking a link, they're not actually getting through to the next stage. That is just a waste of effort and time. Again, don't worry and stress too much. This is organic traffic, so I've seen some instances where people are paying thousands of dollars a day in paid traffic, but their funnel links aren't set up properly, and therefore it's a total waste of money. Okay, so you will just simply grab this link here, okay, and this will be your company URL, and then we can also change the path, right? So to change the path and put something, it'll be your domain name, and then / instead of landing page, you can swap this out with something a bit more relevant, right? So right now we could say, for example, COVID-19, or you could put like opportunity, right? You see what I'm saying? You want to, or just case study, or you could even call out their industry. So whatever it might be, okay? This one here. Okay, restaurants. So / restaurants. And then you want to update page, and publishing, you want to go in here as well. So you have to do both, right? Edit down there and change the path here too. And restaurants. Now, update funnel step. What that means is then when you have fixed this part per the cheat sheet and set it up for all of your company, you'll have your credentials there, your domain, yada, 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 and then / restaurant. It's just nice to have that. So then when you're including it in your LinkedIn messaging, as we looked at in an earlier module, you'll say, hey, you might find this of interest if you want some more information, and you send them a link and it says / restaurants. Again, that's making an impression on your target business, because they'll see that and they'll be like, oh, wow, this might be worth my while. It's a helpful way to help them click through. So the point I'm trying to make with this last one is basically we've got a lot of avenues that we're setting up with our ignition system, and to then just drive them onto your landing page, we just want to provide this link. So with LinkedIn, we can drop in that link into our messaging, and we can use many steps there to keep the conversation casual, etc. And then just say, hey, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about how I help many businesses like yours, check out this link here. And that ultimately just gets them onto your landing page. Same with email drip, same with lead nurturing, and same with personalized videos. I'm aware that you haven't covered any of that at this stage of the training, but in the next stages that you go through, we look at setting up your email drip, we look at setting up your lead nurturing system, and we look at putting in place personalized videos into the mix too. And each one will be using the exact same link, which is what we just looked at, which is here, and this is what will take and drive that traffic onto your landing page. Okay, so some action items. There's been a lot in this module. I'm aware of that, folks, and hopefully it's made sense to you. So, I guess my question is, who's lost and who gets it? But by going through some of these cheat sheets here, you really are putting in one of the greatest assets that you'll ever put into your business. It's going to do wonders for your revenue and for your business. So what you need to do here is just a recap. You need to go through the cheat sheet, and that's the funnel setup, and that's all the techie stuff in the background, and there is a lot, but get through it. It's a one and done thing. Once you've went through all of that and that's set up and that's working, then you're done. This tool is there, and you've built those foundations, and now we're ready to start driving traffic to it. We want to add your fundamental workings to the landing page. So all of the fundamentals you did back in the fundamental stage, we have to optimize your landing page being very congruent to that work, and that's what we're all on side as well to help you with, to take a look at landing pages and review them with you, etc. But make sure that work goes in there on your landing page, and the more work you've done on the fundamentals, the easier it should be then to put your headline in there and the key benefits, etc. Create the 1 or 2 minute video and upload to the landing page. So get it done. I know it might be out of your comfort zone, but when you're uncomfortable, it means you're growing and you're developing. So get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Once it's done once, it's done, and then you can iterate it. The more we go with this, the more you can just have another crack at it, and you'll do a better version. It's amazing how fast people learn how to ride a bicycle. Then review the survey form questions to fit your target. We had a quick look through there, staying with the example in this module of the restaurant industry, and how we throwing in some unique questions there for the restaurant industry. You want to do the same to your industry, and we're on side to help you with that too. Then you want to sign off your own email automation. So again, in the cheat sheet, we show you how to set everything up, and we want you to then, I've walked you through some example email templates here. We want you to then have your own, have that in place so that your funnel has an email automation system to plug the gaps there for prospects falling off and not completing all of the steps. And then lastly, where to find the link to add it to your ignition system. So we've got a lot of organic machines now working for us. Our ignition system should be already driving traffic for us and creating appointments on our calendar. We now then want to, if we're using the scenic road strategy, here's the link as to how we finish that off and send them this way to your funnel. Get that traffic on there. That might be your preference, your style, but as we progress through this training program, we'll always be using that link to send people back to the to this landing page when they ask, hey, any more information? Sounds interesting. Could you just give me some more insight, or do you have anything that I can look at? Boom, send that traffic straight to your landing page. And that is all. Look, a big congratulations. No kidding around here. This is huge. If you get through this, and I don't expect you to do it in the first watch of this module, go through it again, then you've just added a 7-figure asset to your business. I can't stress that enough, and you mightn't even realize it at this point, but you have. And when we start working together, we're going to make sure your conversions are in place, that we actually can predict them. So we'll know if we send this much traffic to your landing page, we're going to get this number of people, qualified good businesses, onto the phone. And then with our sales process training, we're going to be onboarding this number of clients. And when we can really perfect this, you're really not touching anything. The traffic, we're just driving it organically through your landing page, through your funnel, into your calendar. You have a survey form in your email inbox. You have a time booked at a time that suits you, and you're prepared for that sales call. So I don't think we can do anything more to try and get you moving with your business, and I look forward to seeing some real amazing results. I'll speak to you soon.